Denver7 News starts right now.
Right now on Denver7 Big, changes to where and how buses run on Colfax and how the move could save you money. And moving mountains to alleviate the traffic headaches on I-70.
It's an attack on multiple facets of my community.
And local veterans banding together to take a stand against the president. But first, we want to give you a live look outside right now where it is really coming down here in downtown Denver. You can see the roads glistening in that rain out there. Parts of our metro have been getting some heavy downpours and pockets of flooding as well. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Ann Trujillo and we have live team coverage for you with Jason Grenauer out in Parker. But let's start with meteorologist Stacey Donaldson. Stacey, flooding has been an issue all night tonight.
That's right, and it will continue to be an issue as we go through the rest of the evening. It's raining hard here through the metro area. Downtown Denver right here, down toward Littleton, out along the west side. We have a lot of lightning and one storm cell here that is dumping a lot of heavy rain. And then you see scattered showers all throughout Metro Denver. So we're keeping an eye on this. It's moving to the southeast, so we'll see it arrive in Littleton about 10:12. And that's just this one cell here. By 10:25, it'll be in Highlands Ranch. And then farther to the south, another cell moving to the southeast through the Pinery and Castle Rock over the next half hour. So a couple of spots we're really watching here. Light to moderate rain farther to the north along I-25 and parts east, and then down to the south, also pockets of very heavy rainfall, and we have flash flood watches and warnings in effect. We'll talk more about this and what you can expect tomorrow coming up.
All right, Stacey, thank you. And thank you to all of you who've been sending us your video and pictures of the flooding in your neighborhoods. Let's get back out to Jason Grenauer now. He's in the Parker area. And Jason, as you heard, these storms are moving in fast and they are dumping a lot of rain.
They are. The rain is still coming down here in Parker. The good news, it's lightened and lessened in intensity over the last 15 to 20 minutes or so. The problem is what it's leaving behind, and that is some standing water, some moderate flooding, specifically in this entrance to this neighborhood. This is the Creekside housing development. We are near South Chambers and Lincoln here in Parker, and you can see, I mean, it's only a few inches deep, but we have seen some cars kind of pull up and not be sure. Of course, you're going to want to be careful with some standing water. The storm sewers around here are full up, and you could probably just see off in the distance. Still some lightning as a concern. No major issues that we've heard of so far. If that changes, we will let you know. For now, reporting live in Parker, I'm Jason Grenauer, Denver7.
All right, Jason, thank you. And you can count on us to keep you updated on all the watches and warnings throughout the night by using the Denver7 app. We will also have complete weather and traffic coverage for you starting tomorrow morning at 4:30 a.m. Heading to the high country on I-70, you know it's always a traffic mess. So what if CDOT moved mountains to make your travels easier? Denver7's Jackie Crea was at a CDOT meeting tonight speaking with people who live in those mountain communities. Jackie, they tell you traffic isn't the only thing they worry about.
That's right. So, Ann, everybody knows out here the traffic day to day is pretty bad. You have a lot of lanes that bottleneck. You have that old Floyd Hill Bridge. But tonight also coming from the communities living in this area, a big concern for their safety. And so CDOT says it hears them loud and clear.
In the winter, Floyd Hill is notorious. It's always on the news.
For Paul and Linda Berto, making their way down the mountain from Floyd Hill can be tricky, and sometimes even trickier when they get to the bottom.
The traffic on I-70 is horrendous.
Tonight, they headed to a town meeting to hear what CDOT plans to do about it.
Fire trucks get bigger.
Safety is a major concern for them with high fire danger. Right now, they have one emergency exit route on the mountain.
The fire department had to come in and hike in with water, and there's families and, there's handicapped people, there's pets.
The heavy traffic and congestion on the I-70 mountain corridor and the dangerous, sometimes icy curve over the deteriorating Floyd Bridge has them worried.
There are always accidents in the winter on Floyd Hill. It's just where all of a sudden it becomes icy.
After 8 months of studies and collecting community opinions, CDOT has come up with 3 options for moving the portion of road from the top of Floyd Hill to Veterans Memorial Tunnel. Engineers will then have to decide which one works best with a new interchange to US 6. After the meeting, same car, but 2 different opinions from the couple.
They have to be public, and they ask for opinions, and they never really use them.
They're trying to listen to the public's concerns and trying to integrate those into the project. I respect that and I appreciate that as well.
Something they do agree on, whatever changes.
Our focus is to make sure that those changes don't have a significant negative impact.
So next month is when CDOT will begin that study on moving that portion of I-70. Online at thedenverchannel.com, we're going to have more descriptions and pictures of what those options will look like. But something for sure moving forward is an express lane only during peak travel times added to the westbound lanes. We're live tonight. Jackie Crea, Denver 7.
All right, Jackie, thank you. And big changes could be coming to parts of Colfax. The city of Denver is now considering running buses down the middle of streets through downtown onto East Colfax. Now, this idea is just in the very early stages right now, but experts say it would alleviate congestion and help run the bus lines as quickly and as frequently as cars, just at a fraction of the cost. And get ready for another day of debate tomorrow in our nation's capital. The Senate trying to gut the Affordable Care Act. The full Senate rejected a proposal from GOP lawmakers to repeal but not replace Obamacare today. And 7 Republicans voted against it. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, though, says he is staying optimistic.
I know members in both parties have health care ideas they'd like to offer. If you've got one, bring it to the floor.
Now, this latest failed effort, a stark contrast to the effort to get Obamacare repealed back in 2015. That bill made it to President Obama's desk, but he vetoed it. Our Republican Senator Cory Gardner supported this most recent plan. For weeks, he wouldn't say which of the Republican plans he liked the most to repeal Obamacare, but he did back today's plan to dismantle the act without a ready replacement. Our Democratic Senator Michael Bennet voted against it. And for those of you keeping track, so far the Senate has shot down more than 3 bills in the last few weeks. Those include repeal and replace and just repeal with no replacement. And we really have no idea how many more bills or amendments are left because Senate Republicans have been particularly guarded, but we will keep watch and we will keep you informed. The extensive plans to revamp and redo DIA are moving forward. Today, the City Council Business Committee approved plans to move security out of the Great Hall and up near the airline ticket counters. And you're looking at a rendering of that right now. And it would cost about $2 billion and would be funded through a private-public partnership. The plan now goes to the full City Council. You'd like closing on your dream house to go as smoothly as possible, right? But imagine finding out there's a dangerous cancer-causing chemical lurking inside. Denver7 Sally Mamdou spoke to 2 homebuyers in the metro who are now dealing with this exact problem.
And the 2 home buyers have 2 different builders, but the supplier of this coating product is the same, which means now they have to wait till the chemicals are out before they move in.
For 10 months, Tracy Jackson has been waiting to move into her new Aurora home.
This is the dream house.
This is the dream house. And while she was supposed to move in next month, she's going to have to get more comfortable in her empty temporary apartment.
I got a phone call last week saying that my closing was going to be delayed by about a month.
Several customers complained of an odor in newly constructed homes, so her builder, Richmond American Homes, is having to repair her basement's joists. The odor comes from a coating that contains formaldehyde.
You can smell it, and it does sting your eyes when you go into the basement.
Tom Seibert also felt similar effects when he checked the basement of the new home he was supposed to move into tomorrow in Parker.
It's our dream house. We've been planning for this for years now, and it's finally finished, and we were really excited to move in, and it's kind of a letdown not to be able to close tomorrow.
But Tom and Tracy aren't the only ones dealing with this. The company Weyerhaeuser that supplied the coating known as Flag Jacket says about 2,200 homes throughout the country have been impacted. It's going to cost the company big bucks, roughly $60 million to fix or replace affected joists. Both Lennar and Richmond are making sure their future home buyers aren't footing any bills.
They're going to pay for my rent, and they're going to pay for my storage of all the stuff that I have out in California.
And right now, we only know these 2 builders, but Weyerhaeuser is a huge timber supply company, so if you're about to close on a home or just moved in, make sure to call them. We're live in the studio. Sally Mamdou, Denver 7.
And we continue to follow the story of an 11-year-old boy who was hit by a driver who didn't stop. Tonight, neighbors are blaming both the driver and the road she was driving on. 49-year-old Kimberly Miller lives just a half-mile from where that crash happened yesterday afternoon near Stonegate Parkway and Creekview Drive in Parker. The speed limit on this road is 30 miles an hour, and people who live there say there's a blind curve where that crash happened.
By the time you get up and over this corner, you know, you're not going to see a child crossing the street.
Now, those neighbors aren't excusing the woman who will be facing charges. As for the boy, his mom told us he has a fractured skull and some bleeding, but thankfully he's going to be just fine. And now to the story taking the nation by storm tonight. The president tweeting out he's banning any transgender person from serving in our military. And this move drawing criticism both at the congressional level and among the general public. And not only did the move catch the LGBTQ community off guard, but one military official says the heads of all 4 branches didn't know anything about it. Both the White House and the president haven't given much explanation, but did say they informed some people of Mr. Trump's decision.
When the president made the decision yesterday, the Secretary of Defense was immediately informed, as were the rest of the national security team that had been part of this ongoing conversation.
Denver 7's Liz Gilardi has been talking to some local veterans. Liz, they were caught off guard by this ban.
Well, they really were, and the reaction here locally tonight is more of a call to action. A group that is pushing for equal rights says they are not giving up without a fight, and tonight they worked on what's next.
Don't ask, don't tell 2.0.
A tweet from the commander-in-chief, taking aim at a community.
I'm sure everybody knows that the transgender service members have been threatened with a ban on their service.
Most of the people in this room served, like Sarah Alder. She spent 8 years in the Army.
As a lesbian woman, I know what it's like to serve under Don't Ask, Don't Tell and live in that state of fear.
As the president of American Veterans for Equal Rights, she held an emergency meeting, worried about her transgender friends, fellow soldiers, some still in active duty or the reserves.
It hit me, but it didn't really hit me until I realized a friend of mine who wanted to get back into the military now can't because she's transgender.
Transgender veteran Emma Shin told us she feels betrayed by the administration.
To alienate a segment of our population who raised their right hand and swore to protect and defend our Constitution and our nation by saying that they're a disruption, I think is incredibly dismissive.
But this group, driven by a call to serve, won't be silenced, won't stop fighting for what they believe in.
I want to have a cause and a plan of action for the what ifs.
And U.S. Senator Michael Bennet is just one lawmaker speaking out against this. In a statement, he called it an attempt to distract from the health care debate and said our commander-in-chief should not ban Americans who are qualified to serve in our military and willing to risk their lives for our country. But Congressman Doug Lamborn, a Colorado Springs Republican, voiced his support of the president's decision. And he said, in part, there are too many unanswered questions in terms of medical, housing, readiness, and deployment.
So what does this mean? I mean, what's the status then for the transgender members who are currently serving?
Well, and that was the conversation that we heard tonight at that meeting. You know, they really want to know what would be next. Are people going to get kicked out? Will they be honorably discharged or not? And there's so many unanswered questions, and that's really what's going to lead and already leading to some fear.
Oh, sure, and uneasiness for sure. Thank you, Liz, for that. Well, think about where you're heading on those last-minute summer trips you're planning, because you're definitely going to have company out there. Plus, a new international destination is added to the list out of DIA. And how much is it really going to cost to change out all the Sports Authority logos at the Bronco Stadium?
And I'm meteorologist Stacey Donaldson, tracking very heavy rain moving through the metro area. Flooding is a concern. I'll let you know what you can expect in your neighborhood coming up.